Why, hello, and welcome to a long-awaited video. I do apologize for the delay. My laptop basically died. It could not open up Chrome within 5 minutes, so I had to take an impromptu hiatus, but not to worry, I am back. And I figured I would start off with one of the pieces that I made, and I recorded all of this footage for this piece before my laptop basically went to its untimely end. So this was a piece that my grandma asked me to paint, and I love doing paintings for my grandma. I've done so many for her, and they're normally scenes of like nature and horses. This was a piece that is for one of her friends, so it has already been gifted, so I don't have to worry about spoiling it. I figured I would talk a little bit about my process before doing a silent sort of paint with me, so go ahead, get your sketchbook out, just start doodling. This video is about 30 minutes long. I challenge you to have your pen to paper, or pencil to paper, or a paintbrush to paper for that entire time. So starting with prepping the paper, I use something called a gator board, which is something I decided to grab after a lot of experimentation. It is a very thick, special type of board. It's about 1/4 inch thick, and I'm able to actually stretch my watercolor paper, so I'll fully soak the paper, let it be completely wet, and then I'll lay it flat on this surface, and then I'll staple around the piece, which you can actually see here. I've also redone the sketch with a graphite pencil very faintly, so that as I paint it will fade into the background. I also started with a lot of wet on wet techniques. I like to build things up in layers with watercolors. So thankfully there's a nice little separation of the trees between the sky and the grass. So I was able to work on both at the same time without worrying about the different foreground and background blending into each other. So that was convenient, you know? I would also like to say that since it's been so long since I have recorded this, I, at one point while recording, got so into the zone that my phone recorded for 40 minutes, which was fine. It was charging, it was all set up, I was just cruising along, and then I noticed that it had recorded the video in portrait mode instead of landscape. So when I went in to edit the orientation of the video, my phone was like, no, you can't do that. This video is too long. This phone cannot handle that. Okay, great. So there will be a bit of a gap between two different parts of this piece, which will be noticeable. They're kind of near the end. I'm not happy about it, but you live and you learn. Something else that I like to do with watercolor is I will very rarely clean off my palette, especially once I get started on a piece. So you can see that the Payne's gray that I mixed for the clouds, it was kind of a cloudy day in the photo. I'm going to use that color throughout the piece, and I'll do the same with some browns and some reds further on. My main hope with this and this real-time paint with me, none of this is sped up. I didn't speed up any of the video. I just wanted to record what I was doing and just show everything that I could. I did cut out some bits where I was pausing to take a sip of coffee or tea or whatever I was drinking. So that helped cut down the time. I figured nobody wanted to just see my paintbrush hovering in a corner of the screen for 15 seconds. That's a waste of everyone's time. So I did cut those, so if there's any weird jumps, that's why. And on that note, I am going to stop talking and hope you enjoy. Alrighty, voiceover me is back. Figured I would jump in right here at the end to talk about the piece. So one of the pros of using Gata board is so easy to get your pieces off of this. And I guess the staples do make holes in the board every single time that I use it. You know what? Just watch how easily I'm going to remove this. You can literally just like peel the paper up, and as long as you go slowly, everything just pops right out. So that is definitely a pro. You just have to account for trimming off like the border of the piece, which is another thing that I did when I, was sketching it out. I left like a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch gap. I don't remember. I don't have the piece anymore, nor do I have the scraps because that would be weird. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this piece turned out. I did take a couple of day breaks in between like painting sessions because I do work full time, so I kind of have to like actually go to bed so I can get up on time for work. But that does also give me the opportunity to like look at the piece with a set of fresh eyes the next day, so I can be like, oh, this like really stands out, or oh, the trees could use more detail here and whatnot. I like how the rider and the horse stand out, even though there's a lot of blue and the rider's wearing blue and the flowers are blue, but I think it looks pretty good. I finished, taking out all the staples. I trimmed it up, dated it, signed it, and then I put it in a frame and delivered it to my grandma. Another thing I'd like to say is that it was really refreshing to get back into watercolor. Since since I was in college, besides being in art classes, I had a really hard time making pieces that I enjoyed. So it was really nice to get back into the swing of things and to get to play around with watercolor. So I'm trying to focus more on like making actual finished pieces instead of just like a bunch of goofy sketches in my sketchbook. Thank you so much for watching.